Hi, friends. My name is Abhishek. And if you are an international medical graduate struggling to find observerships in psychiatry, then I'm here to help you. I'm going to list the exact hospitals where you could cold email and apply for a rotation, and are most likely to hear back from them. And we won't be using any third party agencies. As you know, they charge a hell lot of money, and most of those rotations are really crap. In this video, I'm going to help you by sharing the exact hospitals that you could apply to. You only need to hear back from at least three of these places, because you need a minimum 3 months of US clinical experience as an IMG, and those 3 months would translate to three letters of recommendation. Now, ERAS gives us the option of uploading four letters of recommendation. So you could even do four of them, like I did. They don't need to be like 4 weeks at each of them. Like two of my rotations were 1 month each. Another rotation lasted 20 days. And my fourth rotation lasted 2 weeks. So I could get four letters from all of my rotations. All right, so I am going to share you the exact hospitals where you can apply for an observership and are most likely to hear back from them. So first we have got UT Health in Houston. This is their application page, but it doesn't has an official application link. The way you apply to UT Health is by getting the approval of an attending there, and they would initiate the application process from their end. So what I want you to do is go to the faculty page of the Department of Psychiatry and email everyone there. This is what we are going to do next. And you can find their email address by clicking on their profile and then clicking on the contact info. And I'm going to make your job easier by sharing the exact attending who is most likely to respond to you. And that would be Dr. Machado Vieira. He's the one under whom I rotated. So try emailing him first. If you do not hear back from him, you can spend your energy on emailing everyone else on this webpage. All right, next we have a rotation at Griffin Memorial in Oklahoma. They also do not have an official application link. You're supposed to email their program coordinator, Laura, requesting for a rotation there, followed by an observership at Christiana Care in Delaware. I don't think they have an official observership application link, so I'm going to share you the exact email address to which you could email. This is the email address of the program coordinator whom you could forward your request, and this is the exact email that I shared with them. And hopefully you will hear back from them. He would share with you the link of the application, and you would also be needing an attending there to approve your rotation. So I rotated with Dr. Ram Sharma. This is his particular email address, and you can email him as well. Next, we've got a rotation at Columbia University. You're supposed to email Dr. Hamilton for this one, and they conduct virtual interviews before approving your rotation. So, a couple of things you are asked is to recount a clinical encounter with a psychiatric patient that stayed with you or something that you learned from. So, I would highly recommend like going to your psychiatry department of like your med school and learn something from there so that you can talk about it in your interviews. Followed by Maimonides Health Psychiatric Observership. I don't think they have an official observership application link, so I'll share with you the email address to which you could email them at. This is the email address to which you send your email at, and then hopefully you will hear back from them something like this. They would share with you the entire application process, and they begin reviewing applications during spring. They would then send another email once they are willing to consider you strongly for their rotation. They would want to conduct an interview with you once, and you would probably hear from Dr. Elani. You're supposed to let her know the times at which you would be available for an interview. This is her email address. Then we have Sunny Upstate's observership. You email Dr. Leon Tivia at this particular email address, And this particular rotation gets booked really in advance. So you're supposed to be emailing them at least 6 months prior. Loreto Hospital also has an observership, but I think I remember it was too expensive or something. So you would want to keep this lower on your list. These are the email addresses to whom you can reach out to. This is West Virginia University's observership PDF information page, whatever. Thomas Jefferson University also has an observership program. Westlake Brain Health doesn't has a residency program, but they offer an observership, so you would want to keep this relatively lower on your list. Children's Hospital of Philadelphia also has an observership program. Kansas University has a great observership program you could reach out to. You email them at this particular email address. There is this Tucson Hospital's medical program. They happen to offer an observership. Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center has an observership program. It would also require you to first gain the approval of faculty. So apply the same strategy that I recommended with UT Health. We also have University of Washington. We've got LSU Shreveport. UCLA has an observership program. Atrium Health has an observership program. University of Mississippi also happens to take observers. Baptist Hospital of Southeast Texas offers observerships. Speaking of Texas, Texas Tech University also has an observership program. I emailed them a couple of months ago. So this is the particular email address I emailed them at, and I heard back from them. Unfortunately, the timeline didn't work for me, but they do offer observerships, and that's the great news. St. Elizabeth Hospital happens to offer an externship which guarantees you a hands-on experience even as an IMG. So definitely keep this one higher on your list. And last but not the least, we've got the most famous observership, which is at Cleveland Clinic. Alright, so this is the final bulletproof method that would inevitably work in case you do not end up hearing back from the rotations that I earlier listed, although it is unlikely. Like I did heard back from most of them, and so are you, but let's say it doesn't work out. So this is what I want you to do as a last resort. I want you to go to Frida Psychiatry programs, and I want you to filter for the psychiatry programs. By the way, you could use the same method for any specialty, and so there are 351 ACGME accredited psychiatry programs. I want you to apply a filter that takes at least 5% of international medical graduates. And we end up with 182 programs. What we plan to do is email all of these 182 programs and hope to hear back from at least 3 of them. So open a program. You would find a list of the email address of the program coordinator, sometimes even the program director. You could email them requesting for an observership there. And we repeat this process for the entire 182 programs. Now, here's a mistake a lot of people make. People end up sending generic emails, which are really crap. So this is what I want you to do. I'm going to share one of the emails that I sent. Okay, so first of all, notice the subject line. I do not use the word observership in the subject line. What's the purpose of this? Like anytime you get an email, what's the first thing that you see even before you're opening the email? It's the subject line of the email, right? And if I always begin my subject lines with thank you, ... like whatever the context of that person is. Let's say this person is a child and adolescent psychiatrist. I emailed him, I used the subject line, thank you for your work in child and adolescent psychiatry. Or if you are able to find a web page of this particular person on the internet, you could use ChatGPT to draft a personalized email and come up with a subject line that begins with along the words of thank you for whatever contribution he has done in the field of psychiatry. And it just makes them more likely to open your email if they read the subject line that starts with thanking them for their work, right? Like what you want comes later. So this is a sample email that I sent. Note that even in the first paragraph, I do not talk about me wanting an observership. I just talk about their work. Look at this particular paragraph. And then I tell them that I'd be applying through psychiatry and I'm looking for observerships. I think it's a nice idea to involve a small picture in the signature of your Gmail. Like, if you're not aware of it, let me tell you, like in Gmail, if you go to settings, so basically the idea is like if an email contains a small picture of you in the bottom, it kind of makes you more of a human, and people are more likely to respond to humans than random, whatever. Kind of makes your email a bit more human. Oh, that's it from my side. Let me know if you have any questions, comment down below, and if you found the video is helpful, hit the like button.